And I really like it. I really like it because ultimately, it's actually a very interesting feedback loop. I think if you're spending 20 hours on Netflix a week, you're probably paying a lot of attention to Netflix. If you are spending 20 hours a week trying to build your knowledge in a particular area, then that's probably what you are doing and what you are giving your identity to. So I think the really interesting thing there is that the attention thing, I know in the conference this morning you're talking about attention spans and attention and consuming stuff generally is quite important. But in my very strong view, everybody just needs to reflect a tiny bit on what you're giving your attention to on a weekly basis. I read a statistic in The Economist this week that said most under 23s are spending 5 hours a day just looking at their phones. Now, there can be productive ways of looking at your phones and there can be destructive ways of looking at your phones. I don't mind that. You've got to try and find the productive ways of looking at your phone if that's what you're going to do. But I think this whole idea of paying attention to what you're paying attention to becomes very important, because then the next question that most people say is, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do the thing that I want to do, which I think is total bullshit. Can I say bullshit?
Of course.
And that's not me trying to be too lacking of empathy, but there is always time. It's just, again, everybody's unconscious routines of deciding what they want to do. But ultimately, it comes back to attention, not attention span, but just bearing in mind on a weekly basis, and even just doing a bit of an experiment. See what you do on a weekly basis in terms of your attention, and then trying to make that small change to see if you can make that sustainable bit.
Because of course, like when we all at some point said, I don't have time, no? Is that, of course, like it's an excuse basically that we are giving to ourselves because maybe it's easier.